Greetings. Welcome to a late edition of TGIW. Um, I ended up having to work kind of late last night and did not get a chance to record my normal episode. I didn't get done working until about 12:30 at night, and I after working a 16-hour day, it was not. I was ready to go to sleep. I almost didn't record today. Also, I'm not feeling very well. But I was so worried about all of you that you were worried about not having your TGIW content, which I know is so important to you. I'm sure there were probably a number of you just not even going to sleep, just waiting for that episode to drop. It's Wednesday. Where is it? What's happening? And I didn't post it. So I'm posting it now. You can watch it, and you can go to sleep now. It'd be okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, where are we starting? With what I got this week. I didn't get a whole lot. I got good stuff, but not a lot of stuff. Let's see. Let's start from one of the stores. Picked up 4 issues of Blue Beetle. 1, 5, 9, and 23. And I think this is it. That's it. That's all Blue Beetle, I believe. Maybe I have one or so coming in, but I think it's all accounted for one way or another. And I think this is all of Blue Beetle, so that's super exciting. And Booster Gold is darn near done, so I'll be able to read both of those here pretty soon. I also decided to pick up both volumes of Ragman. Eventually, not. I don't have it all now, but I have the first issue of Volume 1 of Ragman because it is his first appearance. It is in my key collection. So I also picked up issue number 2 from that same store, and then from the other store, I got issues 3 and 4. There's 5 issues total. So I need one more issue of the first volume of Ragman to have that full mini. And then also from that store, I picked up 4-issue limited series of Prince Namor Submariner. So I can read that before I eventually get into that Namor run. Because this obviously predates it. I do have and did read through. There's a 12-issue maxi series, or however you want to call it, that was sort of a retelling of Namor's origin, which was really good. And I read that. This takes place after that, and then I can jump into the that 90s ongoing, which I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited. And from that last store, I also picked up the 5th volume of the Usagi Yojimbo saga. If you've... Uh-oh. Somebody's moving around. Hey, pup. Hey. 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 You want to be on camera? Want to be on the internets? You want to be on the internets? Yeah? Sniffy? You've been outside for a little while, haven't you? Yeah, you're a little warm. If you haven't read Usagi Yojimbo, I mean, I don't know. It's so good. And these Dark Horse, okay, all right, bye. These Dark Horse saga books. Look how much you get. Look at it's all of that. Like, it's all black and white because it was originally it's Usagi Yojimbo's black and white. Look at all of that. $25 cover price. That's insane. It's so much content, so much good content for for such a great price. So if you haven't read Usagi, I mean, at least pick up the first couple volumes. I think it's volume 2, Grass Cutter. It's probably one of the most famous Usagi Yojimbo stories about the sword called Grass Cutter. Highly suggest picking these up. These are really, really good. But that was it for pickups this week. I am unfortunately having to slow down a little bit. My income is being infected. It's a good slip of the tongue there. Affected by all the stuff that's going on, so I kind of have to slow down a little bit. Spread the stuff that I'm planning on getting out over some more weeks. But that's just the way that it is. All right, for reading this week, again, I had a plan. I don't know how well I'm going to stick to it. So I came up with what I was planning on reading on Tuesday, and then I kind of lost yesterday, and I'm kind of losing today because I'm really not feeling well as far as good days of reading. So I don't know if I should cut it back, but I probably won't. We'll give it a shot. So last week, what did I read? I read the last volume of Lock and Key, which was great. It was great. The Netflix show is really, really good, and I have no complaints about it. It's take on Lock and Key, and a lot of the spirit is there, but there's a lot that's missing. That's in the actual books. A lot missing that's in the books. So if you haven't read it, I highly suggest it. Especially if you have watched the Netflix series and you enjoyed it. It's well worth picking up those trades and reading through it. The last book had me feeling some feels for sure. Some stuff happens, and it's good. It's good. I also read through those 13 issues of Spider-Man Chapter 1. It was good. They changed some stuff around a little bit. The origin of Spider-Man is in it. Originally it was he went to a science fair and the spider got into the radioactive rays and then bit Peter. But in this, his development of powers is a little more tied to an accident that happens around Otto Octavius. I don't know if that's what's considered to be canon because there was a mini series, Dr. Octopus Year 1, which told the same story where Dr. Octopus kind of got started, had an accident, or his accident was, Peter was at that accident that ended up binding him to the arms. And in that accident, some radiation spilled out, and one way or another, Spider got it and bit Peter. So it seems it's the second time I've read that story as the origin of Spider-Man. So I don't, is that just it? I feel like I should know that, but I don't. I've just always considered what happened in Amazing Fantasy 15 to be the origin. But maybe it's different. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know if it has been stated, if that's the case. Other than that, I mean, they moved some stuff around in the timelines, which it wasn't that, it didn't bother me that much. The biggest problem I think I had was Electro and how drastically they changed his costume. I love Electro's original costume, and all of the other costumes for the villains were the same. Dr. Octopus was changed a little bit. His goggles were a little more technically advanced, which is fine. I guess it makes sense. But Electro's costume is nothing like what it was. It was very modern at the time, where it's like sleek bodysuit blue with sort of in white lightning motif sort of thing. Nothing like the original Electro costume. So I don't know why that decision was made. That kind of put me off a little bit. I would have liked to see the original costume again, because you don't see that today. Obviously, um, it's not something that they go back to for that character, which is fine for today. But when I'm seeing a retelling of his origin, I would like to see that costume. But other than that, it was fine. It was an enjoyable read. It was nice to get a little refresher. It did really get me in the mood to start reading some more actual Silver Age Spider-Man, which will bring us to my plans for this week. And then I did read the two issues of Captain Carrot and 10 issues of Aquaman. So I'll start with that. So again, and they were good. Even the Captain Carrot ones are getting a little more easier to get through. So I will go through a couple more issues of Captain Carrot. And 10 more issues of Aquaman. And the Aquaman, this just continues to be so good. I think Hook Hand Aquaman gets a lot of crap, mostly just because of the time that he lived in. But these stories are really, really good. He is not a happy person. He's going through a lot of stuff. He's been put through a lot of stuff. Every once in a while, another character will show up. And there's more superheroes will show up. Power Girl shows up, and here's one, like, we get some JSA members showing up, Golden Age Flash and Green Lantern. But for the most part, it stays really, really self-contained, and no, this is about Aquaman and Atlantis, Poseidonus, the other sort of lost cities, Tritonus, and his direct group of characters, which is great. That's what I want. I want more. I want underwater stuff, and sort of getting into the history and everything of Atlantis and those lost cities, and it's continues to be really good. There's some really sad moments in there. It's a really, really good run. All right, so besides that, this is where I was kind of taking a big chunk, because I'm not gonna pick up another Spider-Man mini. I don't have anything that's a similar size to chapter. I have, but I'm not going to read anything of similar size of Spider-Man Chapter 1. So in lieu of that, and not having more Lock and Key to read, I'm going to get through the last volume of X-Men Age of Apocalypse. I read the first 2 volumes a while ago. I don't know why I didn't just... In the first 2, I just knocked out one after another. I don't know why I paused here, and I'm worried I'm going to be a little lost. It's been so long. I'm hopefully I can... If there's one thing I'm good at, and I've had to become good at with reading as many comics as I do, is being able to pick up things through context. But I want to get through this. It's a good chunk of stuff, but they're quick reads. I'm not terribly worried about being able to get through. Oh man, that design of Colossus is my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite. Now, Blink, I love Blink. So much great stuff came out of Age of Apocalypse. Anyway, so I'm going to be reading that, and hopefully we'll see. Because I might have to work extra late tomorrow too, and see if I'm feeling better. I don't know. I'm going to try my best. But then I also want to, get back into Silver Age Spider-Man. And I cheated a little bit. I started this already. On top of the stuff I already read for last week. I read 3 issues. This is Epic Collection Volume 3. This collects 39 through 52. And annuals 3 and 4. I read the first 3 issues, so 39, 40, and 41. Good issues. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. All right, so 39 is where Spider-Man and Green Goblin basically get unmasked to each other. Really good. 41 is the first appearance of Rhino. Let's see. 42 is the first actual appearance of Mary Jane. What else do we have in here? God, it's just, we got the second and third appearances of Lizard. And I love the Lizard. First appearance of the Shocker. Let's see, we have a Kraven and Goblin team up. It also has the first appearance of Blackie Drago as the second Vulture. Let's see, the first appearance of Kingpin, that Kingpin story arc. Like, it's almost every issue in this is just a banger. It's a really, really good run of Spidey. So I'm going to attempt to commit to two more issues. So 42 and 43. I was planning on doing more, but again, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get through, and with everything else. So that's the plan. The 2 Captain Carrots, 10 Aquamans, Age of Apocalypse Volume 3, and 2 issues of Silver Age Spider-Man, 42 and 43. So that is it. That is the plan. I have a growing stack of stuff that needs bagged and boarded. I was going to make an issue of Bag and Board and Ramblin' last weekend, but ended up doing the Willie Lumpkin Delivers instead. It's a disgusting pile that needs to get done. I probably can make a few episodes of that if I can come up with topics to talk about. But I want to do that soon because the stacks of comics that needs rebagged and boarded is really starting to bother me. Yeah, that's it. Let me know how you're doing, what you're reading, if you've read any stuff that I'm going through, or your thoughts on that. But like, comment, subscribe, and stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.